Welcome back to the WizDG Post Game Show presented by National Landing. WizDG completing the two-game sweep over NetsGC. Your final score at the end of Game 2, 73-65. WizDG completing the 2-0 sweep once again. We are now joined by leading scorer for WizDG, JBM. Last year's #1 overall pick in the draft, going into a sophomore year, coming off an impressive season, winning the entire thing. JBM, I have to ask you, going up against another hot hand and a player like Chalk, that's got to be a pretty tough matchup there. He was last week's Player of the Week. What was the secret to shutting down Chalk?
Man, I love games like that. I love when when that guy's supposed to be him, right? So, we took preparation super seriously, and I took it personal to along with the four other guys to really take him out the game, make him uncomfortable, and make him think in a way he hasn't thought before. So I think we did a really good job of that as a team and sticking to our game plan and ultimately executing. But beyond Chalk, just the way we fought the whole game and just competed throughout was it's super nice to see, and that's the stuff that wins you the real money ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. And NetsGC really struggling to hold on to possession. You guys forced them into a number of crucial turnovers there late in Game 2 to ice off that comeback and seal the win. What was the strategy going in there to force those turnovers on a team, especially like a player like Chalk, who last week, even though he was the Player of the Week, I have to call him out, had 11 turnovers himself?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think a lot of that is kind of developing a strategy throughout the game, from even from the beginning. So you kind of look at their tendencies, after a made bucket, what spot in the court does he like to go? And, it's all about just cutting off angles and making him uncomfortable. So I think, as the game progressed, I kind of got a real sense for where he wanted to go. And, he was impatient late in the game. They wanted to score quick, and we capitalized on that. And, with some players, Chalk in particular, he's a snowball player, right? So he plays great. He's going to keep playing great. But as soon as things go bad, it's going to go super bad. So we took advantage of when things went super bad, and super happy with the result.
Yeah, absolutely. So you had 26 points in Game 1, 20 points in Game 2. I mean, watching you grow in your first rookie season last year, from game to game, we saw that improvement. How are you feeling now going into your sophomore season?
I feel good. I feel, a lot of that rookie learning curve has been diminished. I feel good. I feel confident in our team. It's pretty much the same group we had last year. So I know we compete well. So, going into these games, it's like I don't even think about how I'm going to play, right? Because I know I got 5 other guys that are going to back me up if needed. So I think the biggest thing about about this season in particular is just I know people are gunning for us. I know people are gunning for me. We lost Reese last year, who was a pivotal part of our offense. So I understand that, we need to replace that hole. And, we're working every day towards it. Brandon Beerich did a great job today of stepping in. And, he's probably been at shooting guard for about 4 days now. And, he made it look pretty easy. So, that stuff like that makes my job 10 times easier, and grateful to have him by my side.
Yeah, absolutely. Beerich really being a strong sixth man. I mean, I feel bad calling him the sixth man because he's such a leader behind the scenes, as head coach Pat Crossan said before. But I want to talk about tomorrow's matchup. It's a very quick turnaround. There's no day off in between. You're taking on the Raptors again. Played them a couple weeks ago, took the 2-0 series sweep over them. It's a team that's continuing to struggle. Are you expecting to see anything different when you match up against the Raptors tomorrow?
Man, the Raptors is just the Raptors. Raptors are tough, man. They've been tough, and we've played them so many times in so many different stages, and we played them in the semis last year. We played them in the finals of the turn. We've played them once this year. So regardless of the record, I'm treating it like they're 12-0, right? So we're coming into the game, as if they've never messed up. So we're trying to capitalize on everything we can. We're gonna watch a lot of film tonight, see what they just played tonight as well. So we'll see what they did. I know they had a new lineup out there, and we're just gonna look to move forward going into tomorrow, and we go out the week 4-0. It's a pretty good week if you ask me.
JBM, the leading scorer of WizDG, thank you so much for joining us here on the post-game show, and we'll be watching tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right, we're going to throw it to a quick break. On the other side, the final stats and highlights from Game 1. Stay tuned. You're watching the WizDG Post Game Show presented by National Landing. Welcome back to the WizDG Post Game Show presented by National Landing. Again, the final score of Game 2, 73-65, WizDG completing the 2-game series sweep over NetsGC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the leading scores from that Game 2 win. For the Nets, Chalk led the way with 26. He had 10 assists as well. Dante with 18 points, shots with another double-double, 14 points and 13 rebounds for the Nets in their losing effort. For WizDG, Dayfry 25 points, JBM with 20, and B-Rich with 12, making the most of start number 3 in Season 4 for B-Rich. Let's take a look at the highlights from game number 1. It's B-Rich, again, making the most, hitting the first shot for WizDG, but he didn't stop there. He also hit the second shot from deep downtown. B-Rich, again, coming in clutch for this roster that's shaken up here a little bit after that Game 1 from the Wizards series. But Dayfry, again, being a leader on the court. JBM with the vision. JBM also realizes sometimes he has to take matters into his own hands. He'll pull up the deep 3, not afraid to do that. But Dayfry kind of leading the way here, getting the offensive board. Looking for Awkward in the corner, calls his own number, gets the and one. Doesn't matter if there's 2 guys on him, he will go up and draw the foul. Dayfry again helping his team. Second chance opportunities coming up big for WizDG in game number 1, and Dayfry led the way. Dayfry again, that JBM Dayfry connection, that chemistry from season 1 together last year, continuing in their second season together. And again, the Nets, a team that commits a high number of turnovers, really doomed them in the long run. It's just Awkward being a force in the turnover department, forces even more. Awkward, not only good on defense, you leave him alone in the corner, he's gonna hit the 3 as well. That vision for Dayfry, again, being the on-court leader, JBM. Looking to Dayfry to seal the deal in game 1, and again, late game turnovers dooming the Nets, turning into quick points the other way. Just can't afford to do that when you're down behind, and JBM with ice in his veins again, coming up clutch, seals the deal for WizDG. The final score 76-70 in game 1. Again, it's a 2-0 series sweep for WizDG over the Nets. They now move to, I believe that is 7-3 overall. That's a pretty good start to season 4. Tomorrow night, they'll take on Raptors Uprising. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here on the Monumental Sports Network and NBC Sports Washington. Again, you will not want to miss that rematch of last year as well, and of week 1. WizDG took that series 2-0 over a struggling Raptors Uprising game as well. Again, your final score 2-0 is the series final for WizDG, sweeping the Nets. That will be it for us here at the William Hill Sportsbook. We'll see you all tomorrow night as WizDG take on the Raptors, 7 p.m. Have a great night.